self-reliance, it's on me, man. Forget fate, I'm not relying on God, I ain't praying for nothing, it's on me. Responsibility, self-reliance.
Lose! I don't lose! I win! I win! That's my job, that's what I do!
Everything in my life, volume negates luck, violence is the answer. Like, these are sayings that are plastered around the wall of this office because they've been so true for me that you can brute force what you want into reality. And yes, today, we talked about trades that we're not willing to make. But if you want something, like, did you fucking move mountains?
So what's your fucking excuse? Is it too cold where you live? Is it too hot where you live? Does it rain too fucking much? Now it's time for some real talk. If you're allowing people and things and situations to own space in your fucking head, you're losing. Last thing, life's one big fucking head game. You play with yourself. If you lose, it's because you allow life to get in your fucking head. Stay hard.
Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day, and say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
People are so constrained in their thinking of what level of effort is because they haven't considered what trading way more for that thing is. But they would be willing to trade far more for that thing if the trade were clear. But because they've never tried hard at anything, they just think, oh, this is what trying looks like, which might be like the occasional Google search and a couple hours a week of like watching some videos on YouTube on something. It's like, that is not trying. Like, that is not trying. Like, if you cannot count the amount of repetitions that you're having in the hundreds, that is not trying.
Whenever I get to a low point where I think, why do I even bother? I just remind myself, this is where most people stop, and this is why they don't win.
I'm a win wherever I go. Wherever I go, I'm a win. I don't care where I go. I don't give a damn what team I go to, I'm a win. I'm a win regardless. It don't matter.
And there's sort of two things happening at once here. One is you can work way harder than you think you can.
Yes.
And another one is most people work so not hard that even a small amount of working hard puts you into a rarefied strata of people. And both of those things are true at the same time.
Motivation is a feeling that comes and goes, and it doesn't matter whether it's there or not. Discipline is infinitely more important. So no matter how you feel, get up and do what you're supposed to do. That's it. And that's discipline. It's not motivation. If you only did what you were supposed to do when you were motivated to do it, that's leaving it to chance. But if you're disciplined, you go do what you're supposed to do. That's the way it works.
I felt everything I did the first time. I was known for coming back even harder after I failed. Success isn't a straight line. It's a maze. And when you think you figure that maze out, you hit a wall. And you gotta turn the fuck around and start again. Stay hard.
The vast majority of successful people have one thing in common, which is they're consistent. And consistency, you cannot see in a snapshot. You can't see consistency in a soundbite. You can't see consistency in a reel. And so consistency is one of those things. I think you talked about unlearnable lessons. I think they are difficult to learn without large amounts of exposure. And so I think those are the types of lessons that become unlearnable, is that you need large amounts of exposure in order to encapsulate the lesson itself.
The first step to achieving a massive dream is conquering tiny impulses.
Yeah. You don't build confidence by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having an
undeniable stack of proof that you are who you say you are.
Thank you. That's
outwork your self-doubt.
A lot of people were like, no, but what if you don't have any successes? Like, how do you get started? And I still think that the quote is 100% valid. It's that they don't realize the validity of the smaller things that they have done up to that point. And then you do that enough times that you have enough evidence to make a claim that you can do this and support it. And I think, and so no one will ever know how hard you worked, and no one will ever care. And so you have to create another game or another story that allows you to succeed even when no one else cares, which is why you have to be the one who cheers for you when no one else is watching. Just know that no one will understand, and that's okay, because you know, and you're the only person whose respect you need to earn. And you're also the hardest person's respect to earn, because you know when you're bullshitting you.
Disappearing means doing the work. It means doing the work in the dark. It means building in private what you don't need to prove in public. It means doing the work when no one's watching. You stop worrying about what people think and start valuing what you believe. Because a life that looks good or sounds good is nothing compared to a life that feels good.
And he said you can't necessarily escape the suffering, so you might as well choose something in life to do that is worth suffering for. Because not doing anything at all out of fear or out of uncertainty will also make you suffer. Because you know that there's something inside of you that wants to do said thing.
If you want to be exceptional, what you're doing right now is average or even below average. And if you want to continue to be average or below average your whole life, then continue doing this. But you need to make a serious change and start doing hard shit and letting go of the easy shit, the comfortable, pleasurable shit. Abstain from that to make a better version of yourself.
And say, is that what you want to do? And I said, yes, sir. And him going, well, don't half-ass it.
And I would rather fall short of a big goal and consider myself a failure than lower the goals to the level which I can accomplish all of them just so I can feel like I'm a success. And it's less about the goal setting, and it's more about the mindset of being okay being the failure. Because what it does is it frees you to imagine bigger, take risks like you never imagined you could before, because failure is not the thing you're afraid of.
It's so easy to be successful nowadays because people are weak.
Yeah.
Everybody's weak. Dana White says it as well.
Yeah.
I tell my kids, it is so easy. If you are even a weekend savage, you will run these kids over.
Yeah.
Holy shit, if I have even a modicum of resilience, this makes the market environment for me so much easier. Whether I want to get the girl, buy the house, become successful in whatever domain I choose to, the bar is set so low.
Yeah.
Nobody has the confidence in the decisions that you're making for yourself like you do. So if you're waiting for that to connect in the beginning stages, it may or may not. If it doesn't, it shouldn't prevent you from following through on whatever the line of go is for you. The money is never coming fast.
Success really just boils down to this. You gotta want it more than you hate what it takes to get it. If you're willing to suck at anything for 100 days in a row, you can beat most people at most things.
The strongest force in the human personality, for any human being, you, me, doesn't matter. The strongest force is that we need to stay consistent with the way we identify ourselves, right? Identity is the controlling force of human being. If you are of an identity that says, I always find the way to victory, you will find the victory. What makes people, by the way, miserable is when they feel events control them versus they control events. And all it is a shift in here and here, right?
We don't settle for average. You're going to be an overachiever. You're going to work harder than everybody else. We're going to be elite, so on and so forth. And said, well, we're Haynes. We don't settle for average. We don't, agree with mediocrity. I'm going to be special, elite, blah, 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 blah.
Well, I will not accept second best outcomes in my life. Ultimately, you will end up wherever is acceptable to you. You will get out of life whatever is acceptable to you. And there are certain things to me that are very, very important where I will not settle for second best.
I remember just looking at him and I was like, dare greatly, motherfucker. What's the point? If we fuck up, we die trying. You know what I mean? So what? But we're gonna still fight hell to try and make it happen. Well, what if people don't take you seriously? I don't think people are gonna not take me seriously. Because people will take you as serious as you take yourself. And if you are serious about your goals and your commitment to those goals, people can visibly observe. There is no one that will fault you for daring greatly, period. And anyone who does, doesn't matter.
Doing that. And the way I be thinking is that if I'm taking any breaks, there's somebody out there right now that's literally grinding his ass off and is gonna blow up anytime now. And he or she is dead ass working her or his ass off. And I always think like that, or I always think of okay, how's my ground coming up? You can't get comfortable in this shit.
When I believe I can do something, if I look at something and I believe I can do it, I know I can do it.
Cause I know every motherfucker ain't gonna do what I'm gonna do. So this is how you level up. That's how you level up. I know there's a whole bunch of people with that right there. That fires me up. That makes me happy what you just said. That brings joy to my life right there.
Why?
Because I know there's so many people that have the ability and just refuse to get off that couch. refuse to study a few more hours, refuse to go deeper, to go further. And that's where I gain the advantage. It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak.
Those experiences, I think, remind you that my job is to keep my eye on the ball and to stay focused on what can we get done every single day to advance the vision and the values that brought me here.
Say this to yourself every day. See, as long as you're breathing, you got a shot at your dream. That's the way I resolve. Say this, please. It's not over until I win. You got that right. It's not over till I win. Not over till I get through. It's not over till I get over. Not over till I get what I want. Door can't open today, look out. I'm gonna come back and take the hinges off. That's how you gotta do that.
From now on, whenever you see a barrier or wall, or you think of anything you want to do or be, you say, wait a minute here. I'm unstoppable. Nothing stops me. And you know something? You will develop yourself to the point where nothing does. Cause and effect, going right back to what we talked about. Mental attitudes and personality are determined by things that we do. And there are certain things that you can do consistently every single day. And in so doing them, you'll build your self-confidence up and up and up to the point where you become unstoppable.
And it evolved into just like a no-quit mentality. It's accepting these fears I have, this doubt I have, this everything that goes through my mind, but regardless of that, not quitting and not giving up on myself. No matter how hard is the time and what I'm going through and whatever shit I feel, I'm going to still put in the same work regardless of how I feel, and that's a champion mentality, because the champion's not controlled by their outside circumstances. They control their own mind inside and how they act, and then the world goes on around them.
Are you settling or are you moving mountains? And I really like that. Because like, whenever I'm looking at these choices that I feel like sometimes feel bad, I'm like, is there another option that I could see if I move the fucking mountain? Like, most things are hilariously easy to do. It's just more easy. It's easier to just do nothing. Most people do nothing and get nothing and are dissatisfied because their expectations that they would get something for that nothing of work. What's crazy is that the highest levels of effort are so rare amongst people that you can unlock most things in the universe with it by just really trying like your life depends on it, because it does.
If you want something, go get it. Like I quip that the reason to win the game is to be free of it. So you play the games, you win the games, and then hopefully you get bored of the games. You don't want to just keep looping on the same game over and over.
The only way that we're going to be able to get past this, and the way God is going to use me right now, is for me to stop talking about the pain, stop talking about what happened, and do something about it. And that's where I'm at right now in this moment. I'm not asking for anyone out here to empathize or sympathize for a dude worth $11 billion that can make money appear out of thin air in 5 different industries.
I'd say one of the strongest mental frames that has gotten me through my hardest times is thinking this will be the story that I will one day tell. And that means the harder it is, the bigger the dragon, the more epic the story, and by consequence, the more epic the hero. And if you think about the difference between winners and losers, winners define themselves by what they made happen, and losers define themselves by what happened to them.
What do you want to do with your life? Because you got one life. It's going by quickly, and this is something that you need to get on it. You need to be in here every day. You're almost out of time. You're 22. You're late. Because I realized I saw a lot of people that didn't have any sense of urgency in their life.
It means it's time for you to fight harder, to dig in. It means it's time for you to go on the war path. And that starts with one of the fundamental laws of combat leadership: prioritize and execute. What's the biggest problem? What's causing the most stress? Family? Okay. Sit them down. Explain where you are at. Be blunt, be upfront, and then give them the simple plan of how you're going to get things back on track. Don't sugarcoat it. You give it to them straight.
You realize, well, why are you putting time into something in the beginning that you don't want to see through. Why? Or just because you have like a rough moment or a rough patch. Why is it so easy for you to quit? Why is the idea of quit so quick to you to come up with, and why are you so comfortable with the results of that? I shouldn't be, and that shouldn't be my like motto. So we don't stop. If we start something, we see it the entire way through.
And the reason that you have to be hungry is that you're going to get a lot of pushback. A lot of things going to happen that you cannot anticipate. Think it not strange that you face the fiery furnace. This is this world. You will, not you might. You will have tribulations. Things going to happen to you, and things going to happen to people that you care about.
The only thing that makes us feel alive is growth. You know, when you grow, then you have something to give. And when you give, then your life is more meaningful than just, pleasure. But it's never going to be the same as when you have something that's larger than you that you're called to. It's like, I get a business for impact, and economics are second.
Because people don't want to do this thing. People don't want to do the thing because it hurts, because it takes half an hour every single day for nearly 12 months. It's a full 12-month recovery. Picking up heavy things physically, psychologically, existentially, culturally is good for us. And I think that that's why it's attractive. Because I think deep down they know that if they had that thing, that would fix a lot of the problems that they have in their life.
Do you view this season as a failure?
Do you get the promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Yes or no? No. Every year you work towards something, towards a goal, right? Which is to get a promotion, to be able to take care of your family, to be able, provide the house for them or take care of your parents. You work towards a goal. It's not a failure. It's steps to success. And if you've never, I don't want to make it personal. So there's always steps to it. Michael Jordan played 15 years, won 6 championships. The other 9 years was a failure. That's what you're telling me. No, I'm asking you a question. Yes or no? Okay, exactly. So why are you asking me that question? It's a wrong question. There's no failure in sports. There's good days, bad days. Some days you are able to be successful, some days you're not. Some days it's your turn, some days it's not your turn. And that's what sports is about. You don't always win. Some other people's gonna win. And this year, somebody else is gonna win. Simple as that. We're gonna come back next year, try to be better, try to build good habits, try to play better, not have a 10-day stretch with playing bad basketball. And hopefully we can win a championship.
You still got to do something. You're an animal. You're here to survive. You're here to replicate. You're driven. You're motivated. You're going to do something. You're not just going to sit there all day. Unlikely. Some people do. Maybe it's in their nature. But I think most people still want to act. They want to live in the arena.
If you listen and you focus and you step out your comfort zone, you can achieve anything in life. Like I was nothing about 3 years ago. I'm here now. So I think if you listen and you focus and you just step out your comfort zone a little bit, who cares if you get embarrassed? Anything can be impossible.
You can't stop people from trying to limit your dreams, but you can stop it from becoming a reality. Your dreams are up to you. I encourage you to always be curious, always seek out things you love, and always work hard once you find it.
If you want to be exceptional, what you're doing right now is average or even below average. And if you want to continue to be average or below average your whole life, then continue doing this. But you need to make a serious change and start doing hard shit and letting go of the easy shit, the comfortable, pleasurable shit. Abstain from that to make a better version of yourself.
Self-belief is overrated. Generate evidence, says Ryan Holiday. And this resilience of doing good things in spite of you not believing in them or believing that they're going to happen is pretty miraculous. That the world really only knows the actions that you take. It doesn't know about the internal state until that then shows up in the way that you actually perform.
The curse of the winner is not that he aims too high and misses, but that he shoots too low and he achieves his goal. And I think that you can't have your own respect if you know that you left some in the tank, which is why going bigger and asking yourself, am I capable of this, is the only way that you can ever truly see. And you can only do that if you're willing to fail.
You repeat what you don't repair. You repeat what you don't reflect on. You repeat what you don't release. You repeat what you don't reveal. You repeat what you don't reframe. You repeat what you don't respect in yourself. And you repeat what you don't take responsibility for. Patterns don't disappear with time. They disappear with work.